Hello, I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and this is Mature Living. Thank you for joining us. I know you're going to enjoy meeting a couple of our instructors that teach for our Senior Adult Program at the El Paso Community College. And as you may know or may not, but these classes are free, there's no tuition, and it's just so much fun in those classes. And so I want you to meet one of our newest faculty members, Aurora Anaya Dyer. And she is teaching the Expressions of Life class. And so I just want you to meet her because it's always good to know who's teaching our seniors out here at the college. And thank you, Aurora, for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me, Mary.
Is this your first time here on Mature Living?
First time ever, okay. Yes. Thank you.
We hope you can answer all the questions that I have for you.
I hope so too.
But first, I want our viewers to meet you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background,
okay.
Your professional life.
Thank you. Well, I was born and raised here in El Paso and went to the public schools in Isleta and also went to EPCC, as a matter of fact, did my basics.
So you're a former student?
Oh, yes, and then transferred over to UTEP, a special ed major with early childhood endorsement, and then got very interested in counseling and majored in counseling and also a second master's in occupational training and development. Moved away a little bit from El Paso, lived in Los Angeles for a bit, worked at Universal Studios and different businesses, IBM, and sampled what was out there, got out of teaching for a little bit. But you know, Mary, I reconnected with teaching because it's really my true passion. And at one time in my career, I came across a beautiful program for after-school programs. In that after-school programs, I came across a beautiful training called Creative Journal Expressive Arts. Oh. And at one time, I kept a journal. And so now, the fact that I'm actually in this Expressions of Life, it's like all the dots have connected. How back when I was a girl, I would keep a little diary, or I got so interested in that because as a counselor, oftentimes, in the school system, you're asked to counsel 700 students or more. Well, how can you do it justice?
Exactly. Oh,
and so I always thought, what could I find that could actually give students a tool? And I found that journaling is a wonderful tool.
And how are you experiencing the interaction with older adults, with elders? Tell me about that.
It's amazing, before I came across the Expressions of Life class, I actually used journaling with parents of students and abuelitos and abuelitas, and my own dad also. I had him journal a little bit because he had suffered a stroke, and I teach right brain, left brain functions, and I also teach writing with the dominant as well as the non-dominant hand. And so I got to see that with my own family and with other people, and it's just amazing what comes out and what they express.
Yes. And
it's very surprising to them. And they just love it, but I also give them the freedom to not express if they are not ready to express.
And so these are some of the activities that you use in the classroom as you meet with your students, and you can have up to 20 students in your class. So hopefully we'll entice some of our viewers to call you and register for our class.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Nancy Green. And how you met her.
Oh, Nancy.
Our previous instructor that's going to be coming back soon.
Yes, well, I'm stepping in right now. Very big shoes to fill. What an amazing lady. Actually, Nancy Green, I had first seen her doing some trainings for the Head Start program. And I was doing some workshops myself. I had been a keynote speaker there. And I always wanted to meet her. Well, long story short, I got to meet her. And I love the fact that she plays musical instruments, and I hired her. I was actually taking music lessons from her on how to keep time and rhythm, and I've always been very interested in drumming, and I've always wanted to incorporate that with my journaling classes. Next thing you know, she tells me about the Expressions of Life class, and I said, you know what? I'd be very interested in attending because I'm ready to be a participant. I'm always teaching.
You're of age. You're 55 years old.
Yes,
so, yeah.
And I'm of age. I qualify, and I thought, and I'd like to be able to just enjoy the class. And that's
be a student, huh?
Yes, to be a student. And that's what ended up happening. I love the way Nancy just incorporated all her musical instruments with it, the different themes that she brought in. it was such an eye-opener, different format from what I use, but that's the beauty of it, is that we learn from each other, we take from each other, and we share with others. And I just love Nancy for that.
Well, I'm glad your students are enjoying your instruction and your activities that you plan for them. The class, and we might want to mention that for the summer semester,
Yes.
the first day of registration is going to be May the 6th, which is a Monday.
Yes, May the 6th.
They can register for any of our classes, including the Expressions of Life class that you teach. And your class is on what, Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, 3 to 5 p.m.
Okay. Every Tuesday.
Every
There's about
Tuesday.
12 classes.
Yes.
12 classes.
We go on to August, and we just hope that everybody comes out and joins us, and sign up, because I think you will be very surprised that it's very easy. No grades, no assignments to turn in.
Yeah.
It's just
No
for you.
pressure.
No pressure.
stress.
It's free form. I teach you how to write with your no lines on the paper. Because I want you to have complete freedom of expression. So no lines. So come and find out, because I'm also going to balance your brain, and I'm going to use music and colors, and you'll really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun.
I joined one of your classes.
Yes, you did.
For a bit, and I remember the instruction. Of course, I didn't follow the instruction because I, forgot or whatever. But anyway,
well, you eventually did it, though.
Tell us about that and how I discovered how different it was for me to free draw with my right hand and free draw with my left hand. Tell them what happened.
Yes, when you actually scribble, a technique, by the way, that was used with the artists and the engineers from Disney. The woman who I studied with, Dr. Capacchione, taught me this method, and she pioneered the creative journal Expressive Arts. I learned a lot from her, and it's to get the brain to get balance. But it's amazing that when you actually do the scribble, the doodling with a non-dominant hand, it connects you to the right side of the brain much faster. That's where our childlike spirit lives. That's where our inspiration comes from, our imagination, the creativity, the artistry, the problem solving, which is a big aha, because most people think that you have to solve your problems logically and analytically, and we do. And while that's a very left brain function, we need to tap in to the right side of the brain to truly balance the brain and be able to access the best decision.
One of my experiences, expressions of life, I guess you could say, is that I invent things. I envision something, and then I start a program or a class, or and that has not been done before.
I know,
and it's like, how do I do that, or why do I do that? And that's using that right brain.
That's right, because you get into your playfulness, Mary. That's what happens. You get into that playfulness of side of you, which comes from the right side of the brain, and that's where the imagination is.
Imagination.
Right, and I know that you had a lot to do with also developing this particular class, that you and Nancy came together. And
we came together and
you
designed
brainstormed it and designed it, which is absolutely beautiful, using the poetry and the different prompts and the origin of where we come from. All of that will still be followed alongside with some of the things that I bring in. And so...
Do you have any plans to start any new, that new class?
Hopefully, yes, by the fall.
What is the class?
It'll be the Creative Journal Expressive Arts by Aurora. Yes, and I really want to delve a little bit deeper into the different forms of how we can journal. We're going to be using, instead of clay, Play-Doh. We're going to be using mandalas. We're going to be using all kinds of surprising materials that I think that the students will really enjoy. So far, they've enjoyed what I have brought in.
Good.
And I think that they'll enjoy it even more so when I can bring in more of that.
And so what happens in the class? Are there some social things going on where people are meeting new friends or learning to know about someone else's experiences in life?
That's what's so amazing about this class, is that we get to know one another. I get to know the students get to know one another. We have an author in the class, we have nurses, we have professors, we have people who never attended college but yet are writers and inventors and so creative. Yeah. It's magical what happens there. You're forming new friendships, and we all need to stay connected. We really do.
So you have a lot of activities within those 2 hours of class.
It flies.
And
it just goes by
they
so
keep coming
fast.
back. So definitely we want more students to enjoy and enroll in our classes. We have many other classes. We have the Mexican traditions, the traditions of Mexico. We have folklorico. We have
Beautiful.
how to grow older, and it doesn't have to be hard to grow.
That's right. That's right.
It's one of Grace Ortiz's class. It doesn't have to be hard to grow old. So she teaches them a lot of things.
And we can journal with that, you know.
Yes. And they need to keep their records, you know. So there's so many different classes in the arts, in the computers classes. We have so many. But yours is a creative one, expressions of life. And then later on, we're gonna present the new class, the Creative Journal Expressive Arts. Something you like. And it's really neat to know an El Paso gal from the Sleda area, from the Lower Valley, to go to Disney, to go into professional life.
Yes.
And what you bring back. And what you're bringing back is for our elders.
I have no regrets of doing that, even though I stepped away for education for about 3 years, roughly. It taught me so much, you know, and making those connections also. And I felt that my life was enriched, but it also taught me to get connected with what was my true passion, and that was to get back to teaching, because that's what I really love to do.
And you know, one of the things that I have to say is that you also are a consultant.
Yes, I am.
What do you do?
Currently, I'm doing different types of workshops for every, like Father Guillermo schools. I either do trainings for the staff or the students. I also do trainings for Region 19, for also Region 19 Head Start. Once in a while, I go into, I have a Leap Up program from UTEP. New Mexico State University has hired me to also work with their Head Start staff. And now, most recently, the Las Cruces Public Schools are going to be bringing me in to work.
You're a real
with
treasure.
Parents. Oh,
you're a
thank
real
you.
treasure to
I
have
love working
as
with
one of our faculty members, one of our instructors for our senior
Thank
adult
you,
program. I
Mary.
really appreciate your contribution to our senior adult program and to community college.
Thank
So
you.
how can our viewers contact you?
Well, they could call 915-203-8595, and I'm ready to take your call.
And then do you also have an email? where
Yes.
they can-
And it's a play on words. It's I'm a star like you. So it's IMASTARLIKEU, the little u.
The
that
little
one,
u.
at yahoo.com.
Very good. I also am going to give your EPCC email, which is anaya6@epcc.edu.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. I
Thank
hope
you,
you'll be back
Mary.
again, maybe with a student,
Yes.
so they can share what they've learned in your class this summer semester.
That's the best. Is
Well,
when
thank
you
you
hear
for
it
being
from
here. I
the
really appreciate
students. Thank you, Mary.
you as our faculty here at the El Paso Community College Senior Adult Program. And you all be sure and register because summer session is going to start. The classes start in June, okay? Late in May and June. See you in a little bit with another guest.
When you see flashing lights on the side of the road, move over or slow down. Or get pulled over. Move over or slow down. It's the law. A safety message brought to you by TxDOT.
Thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program. And I want to introduce you to another one of our wonderful professors that teaches with our Senior Adult Program. Very active in the community, as a matter of fact. He works for the City Parks and Rec. He is the Recreation Programs Manager, and he also does all the planning and work and knows everything about the senior centers. So it's really, really important, and he's with the Senior Center Division. And his name is Enrique Valades. Mr. Valades, gracias. Thank you for being with us.
Hello, good morning to you and good morning to your audience. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, good. I know this is your first time coming to our Mature Living show, which has been on the air for 32 years, Mr. Valades.
I
would you believe?
know, it's amazing.
And you in your profession, you wear many hats. We were just talking a little bit ago, and I'm amazed at all of the things that you've learned over the years, that you've accomplished. I want you to share with our viewers, you know, all of the things that makes you you.
Well, first of all, I was very lucky to come to this life and have the opportunity to explore and do a lot of things. My profession is a medical doctor. I am a graduate from Juarez.
Yes.
I am a doctor, general physician. And but also, since young, I explore sports and I explore dance, music, and I'm learning piano now,
Oh my
because
gosh.
that's one of the things I remember going to a piano school in Juarez, but watching from the window the kids, because I didn't have the money. So it was one of my traumas, I can say, and I say, one day I'm going to learn piano.
A trauma.
And I'm doing it
just
now.
being able to watch and wish that you could
Yes.
learn to play the piano.
And but since young, I began dancing folklorico, and I was a musician, also a drum player. But the folklorico dance is so exciting, and the environment, and you travel, you know people, you do exercise, you exercise your creative part, So I got hooked completely. I finished my career. I worked as a physician for some time. And later, the University of Juarez gave me the opportunity to create a big folklorico dance company. With that folklorico dance company, we traveled around all Mexico, all United States. We explored several different programs in Europe. And from there, my real career is to be a folklorico dance instructor. I love to work with young people, that keeps me young, alive.
And do choreography, I understand.
Yeah, of course, I am the one that teaches the dances and do the choreographies.
For Viva El Paso?
I am, at this moment, I have been lucky to be invited to choreography at the Mexican folklorico section for Viva El Paso since last year.
Working with young people.
With my friend Jaime Carrasco, who is now the director. And I teach at Juarez in the University of Juarez folklorico dance. And also I have my theater group. I am working with them with a play that I wrote and the music. And it's a musical comedy that I wrote.
What is the title of it?
Volverte a ver.
Volverte a ver.
See you again. Volverte a ver is a play about young people my age that get together after 40 years with the friends from the high school.
Oh.
And then they, meeting after that much years time, things that you never thought that were going to happen. And they, it's a travel to the past and to the present.
Oh, how nice.
And
I
it's
will
a beautiful.
look forward to that.
Yes.
And maybe you'll come back and tell us all about it when it's ready when you're ready to perform and you have a place and a venue and everything.
Yes.
One of the things that I didn't mention that you will be teaching, you've been teaching with the senior adult program for several years, but you're teaching the history of Mexican traditions, and you're also teaching the Mexican folklorico dance class with elders, with seniors, 55 years and older. They can join your class. Tell us what they learn in that Mexican, the history of Mexican traditions.
Well, that's a very Mexico. I was lucky was born in Mexico City. Mexico is a very, very, very exciting country. They have beaches, they have mountains, they have lakes, but also the music.
And each state has.
It's just that we have 32 states, and each one is very different.
How many states?
32 states.
32 states.
32 different states.
And each one has, like Puebla.
Their special music, their special instruments, their special dances, their special costumes. Even states like Guerrero or Oaxaca or Chiapas, each municipality or each city, they have the different costumes.
Oh my God.
So we have a country with a huge cultural and tradition heritage. So es bien importante, es por eso que México es uno de los destinos culturales o turísticos más importantes en el mundo.
High tourist place.
Recibe nada más, Cancún recibe cerca de 33 millones de visitantes por año.
33 million visitors
per year.
And beautiful weather and different weather.
Different weather, different food, different drinks. You name it. Yeah.
And what about like the traditions of Dia de los Muertos, the traditions of El Día de los Niños? I mean,
Yes.
tell me about those traditions.
Well, with this, the class, you know,
You touch on that?
being a folklorico dance instructor, you are also teaching traditions. Folklore is a tradition, you know. So by doing that, I have to know a little bit about the history, if you want to know the tradition, like Dia de Muertos, you know, where is it coming from? Or even the Mexican Revolution, or the independence, or some history about the Mexicas or Olmecas or the Mayans, you know,
my God.
because from
16
there,
de septiembre,
because that's the root for our traditions.
We need to learn.
Yeah, and
As
then,
American Latinos,
of course,
we need to learn about our roots,
our
because
roots,
our
and
ancestors.
then how they got together with the Hispanic, you know, Spaniards traditions,
With indigenous.
and then
Indian.
how we mix the two cultures got together and they created a new culture, you know,
Los
with
Mexicanos,
new traditions. So that's
Mexicas.
well, los Mexicas was we call them Aztecas. Aztecas, well, in reality should be called Mexicas, you know. The Olmecas, the Mayans, you know, each group, cultural group had their own traditions. When they come together with the Spaniards, you know, they mix those cultures in a very interesting way. And we mestizos, I am a mestizo, you know, mestizo is the mixture of Spanish with indigenous. I am a mestizo,
I'm a
you know,
mestiza.
with that, you know, mi herencia que recibí de mis papás, ¿verdad? Celebrar el Día de Muertos, ¿de qué se trata? Nos hace México un país muy especial.
Ay,
La
it's
gente,
beautiful.
the people
So
from all
beautiful.
around the world goes to Mexico not only for the tequila, which is wow,
Oh,
but
yes.
also they go and see the
music,
the music,
food.
the food.
Oh my gosh.
Each state, I'm planning to go to Mérida in about a month, just to go and eat, you know, the papazules, la cochinita pibil, and all the things that you don't eat.
You're making me hungry.
Yes, and like going to Puebla and eat los chiles rellenos, you know, es
mole.
especial, el mole. Entonces, people from all
talk
around
about
the
all
world comes to, let's say, Cancun. They have the whole package. They have the beaches, you know,
The beach.
las playas maravillosas que tiene, los servicios, but also they have what? Culture. They have the
Cancún.
Chichen Itza, they have Palenque, they have todas estas ruinas mayas.
The ruins.
The ruins, más la naturaleza, los cenotes que existen en Yucatán, ¿verdad? Que son, no nada más ahí existen. Entonces, el turismo, vamos a Guadalajara, ¿qué vamos a encontrar? Los mariachis, la música.
Yeah, la plaza, Plaza of the Mariachis.
Puerto Vallarta, you name it. We are very lucky. We are very lucky, and I have gone to Mexico my whole life, and every trip is different.
And you know, I've attended one of your, I love your PowerPoints, because not only do you give lecture, but you show the cultura, the food, the different states, the different traditions of the Mexican culture, and also dance. Now, you also are going to be teaching seniors folklorico dance. You have a few couples already that have registered, and people can register for your class on May 6th. You can register for Mr. Valades' classes. He has his 2 classes, and the classes will start in June. But definitely we want people to find out, what are your plans for these dancers that you're going to train?
Well, as I said, folklorico dance has a lot of benefits. You do exercise. The number 1, exercise. Number 2, you know people, different people. You know,
to meet people.
Yeah. Number 3, you learn traditions. You know, and number 4 that I plan to do and I intend to do is to make a very fun, interactive, and positive class. We go there and have fun in an organized way, you know, en una forma organizada, donde aprendemos, vamos a decir, una polka o un chotis de Nuevo León,
Oh my
o
goodness.
maybe un son de Jalisco, or maybe, you know, un sonecito de Chiapas.
Very good. Do they learn about
the
how to
costumes,
dress for
yo
each?
les explico el nombre del baile, la tradición, por qué se baila, vamos a decir,
Yeah.
por qué bailamos, vamos a decir, las Catrinas, de qué se tratan las Catrinas,
Oh, yes.
porque usamos mucho la música de la sandunga o la llorona, ¿verdad?
Oh, that's right.
eh,
And dances that seniors can perform, but
Of
they're
course, of
very
course.
energetic.
sí, aunque la
Are
danza,
you going to be performing at maybe your grandparents' day in September?
cuando nos invite, claro que sí.
Oh, I'm going to invite you. I am going to
Sí,
invite you.
trato de
Your
adaptar los
dancers.
bailes para ellos, ¿verdad? Porque obviamente cada ya senior adulto tiene algunos problemas médicos, pero tratamos de adaptarlos de forma que sean enérgicos,
Yes.
y
safe.
divertidos y seguros, sobre todo seguros, ¿verdad?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know, because I get asked, Ms. Yanez, do you have some performers that can come and perform for Mission del Paso? They're having something in September. They want some dancers. And I need to refer, if they're ready with their costumes or whatever, that you could perform it at this convention center for the area agency on aging
Yes.
to perfection. Maybe they'll be ready to perform.
Claro.
But at many places, of course, nursing homes and assisted living homes, they ask me, can you send your students to perform? So there'll be a lot of activities for
Yeah,
them.
and for them it's very exciting to go to different events in different places and feel that they're important, you know. I am the
Absolutely.
artist here, you know.
And with their flores and their moños and
y
their
sus nietos
trenzas.
que los vean y sus hijos.
Exactamente.
Es un orgullo que tienen
Yeah.
y es algo que muchas gracias por tener estos programas porque motiva a la gente a vivir.
Yes. I also know about your coro, but we're running out of time with this interview, but I want to make sure that you give your phone number where they can contact you if they want to join your class, if they want to find out how to join the class, how to register at any community college. They can register on May 6th. It's a Monday. They open registration at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I hope your classes get full because you are a treasure.
Thank you.
Mr. Valades, it's so good to know so many things about you, Enrique Valades, doctor, choreographer, dancer, historian, tantas cosas, so many things that you have accomplished. I'm so happy you came. Can you give us your phone number?
Yes, my phone number is 915-701-8268. That's my personal phone. You can reach me there, 915-701-8268. And of course, you know, it will be a pleasure to work with you and have fun and enjoy the class and learn something new. And of course, I learn from you. You know, I learn from the seniors.
Absolutely.
In one of the we were talking about Pancho Villa, and one of the ladies shared one experience from her grandfather meet with Pancho Villa and how how was the experience the family had, and it was a very strong story. You know, so I learned from them also. You know, from you and from every class. And it's an opportunity, you know, I try to make the class very interactive also.
Very good.
Very fun, very visual also, you know.
Yes.
Show them the videos or pictures that give them an idea of what we're talking.
So good to see you. And thank you so much for being here. I really come back again, okay?
Thanks to you.
Come back again. And so we're concluding our show here on Mature Living, and we'll see you all next week, okay, with more wonderful guests.
Thank you.
Gracias, Mr. Valades.
Muchas gracias a ustedes.